just fired up right now! Oh! Yosh Jefferson, you lying snake! I'm just losing it. You know about the mouth breathing thing? You heard of the mouth breathing thing? Like that mouth breathing is this horrible like disease that there's this propaganda that orthodontists like to spread about mouth breathing causing like facial deformations, and because they're all kind of all the like face, and all the doctors that deal with jaw, face, throat, nose, all those sort of medical professionals, they're all sort of working together, scratching each other's backs. And just a prime example of this, where they've gotten a little bit sloppy with their propaganda, is the mouth breathing thing. They make all these claims about the disastrous consequences of mouth breathing. But this guy Yosh Jefferson, he's an orthodontist or a dentist or some, I guess a dentist. I don't know if he's really an orthodontist, but he's based out of New Jersey, and he wrote this whole long, basically propaganda piece about mouth breathing on his ear. Yosh Jefferson, you lying snake. Let me start the screen recording. He's really got some nerve. He's really got some nerve, this guy. Okay, so here's this is from, all right, well, first let's just address his seedy website here first. Look at this. Look at this Flash player. God, I hate you, Yosh Jefferson. Oh, this guy. So seedy. He's so cheap. Look at this. God, I hate this guy. Welcome to the warm, caring, and friendly office of Dr. Yosh Jefferson and Associates, General Dentist. That's like way overdone. Neuromuscular dentistry, right? This is this like made up field of, I mean, I get the dentistry is useful in cases where there's actually something wrong, with your face or your jaw, where it's like causing pain or something like that. But he's kind of, this just, look at the design of this website, by the way. This just makes me feel ill. Yeah, New Jersey. There's the, okay. Hold on a second here. Look at this gallery and testimonials. Is that even going to load? How are we doing? Come on. Come on, Yosh. Okay. Look at all the Who's down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. That's kind of mean. That's a bit much. That's pretty mean. Who knows? Well, no, you know what? No, that's not really a bit much. That's what you get for associating with a lying creep like Yosh Jefferson. I wonder whether these are really photos of people who have been to this dentist office, or if this is just random stock photos. I wouldn't put it past him. Fucking Jefferson. Okay. Yeah, so here's the this is his propaganda piece here that we're okay. And I gotta say real quick, let's just look at what, so if you Google no, hold on here. All right, so if you Google mouth breathing, if you Google mouth breathing, so look at all of what comes up. It's on Healthline, it's considered I probably already have this open somewhere, but it's considered, look, symptoms, complications, and treatments, as if it's like a disease. It's just breathing through your mouth. Advantages of nose breathing. Who stands to gain from this? I'll tell you who. I know the answer, by the way, who stands to gain from this, and I'll tell you soon, but we're not there yet. What causes mouth breathing? Yeah, risk factors. Like it's a disease. And this, I'll tell you, every single page here about mouth breathing, no, that's a different one. It's all talking about all these negative. Okay, so yeah, let's look at the different lists here of negative. Shut up. Medical news today. All funded by the underground orthodontist complex of conspiratorial. Yeah. Okay. Mouth breathing can cause poor positioning of the jaw. This may lead to jaw pain, grinding of the teeth, and an irregular bite that may need correcting. Okay, we're going to come back to this, by the way. An irregular bite that may need correcting. I think this is more orthodontist propaganda that has just snuck in everywhere. Hoarseness. What? Speech changes. Okay. Let's look at some other. WebMD's got a video here. Jordan S. Josephson. Oh, who is this Jordan S. Josephson? I'll bet he's in cahoots. Jordan S. Josephson explains the problems with mouth breathing. I'll bet this guy is in cahoots with Yosh Jefferson. You fucking snakes. 20 seconds. Good lord. No thanks. Never mind, WebMD. 7 ways to stop mouth breathing. Mouth breathing in sleep. Breathe right. The signs, symptoms, and complications of it. Like, 3 things to know about mouth breathing. 3 self-evident facts about mouth breathing that you don't need to go vet out this information to see if this is mouth breathing. An overview. Science Direct. Yeah, this is all real great stuff here. Common causes. Okay, sure. This is all, this makes sense. Oh, come on. Causes. Sure. Causes of why you'd be breathing through your mouth. That makes sense. Symptoms. Dental problems, including jaw pain, bruxism, irregular bite. Okay, come on now. Swallowing difficulties, noisy eating. Like, they're really kind of reaching for problems here. I'll preface here with my theory about what's really going on here with this mouth breathing stuff. That these healthcare professionals seem intent on villainizing. That's really nice. That's really working well. I might just leave that on there. That's nice. Because it was leaking foam everywhere before. And now it's like nice, and I can really shake it around without any concern about flinging foam left and right. Oh, God, I hate this guy. Hold on, let me see if I can find a picture of him so I can really dox him. Let's dox Yosh Jefferson, guys. Wait. Permanently closed? Really? Oh. Hold on. Permanently closed. So it's. Huh. All right. Anyway, okay. So that's different. That's not related. So right. Okay. So he's got. Okay. Let's look at what he's selling here. Welcome to the Warner. Blah 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 blah. We do all phases of dentistry, including porcelain, veneers, teeth, blah blah blah. Okay, normal stuff. We also offer treatment in neuromuscular dentistry, functional orthodontics, TMD therapy. Okay, but neuromuscular dentistry. They've bolded that. They're laying emphasis on this here. Okay. Dr. Jefferson is recognized by many well-known lecturers as an expert on facial beauty. Oh, that's kind of unexpected and interesting, huh?
He has lectured and has been published nationally and internationally on the subject of facial beauty and its intimate relationship to total health and wellness. Okay, well, we're going to come back to that too. He has found that by harm, blah, blah, blah. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay, so now on, I don't know, I don't know how to get to it from, like, navigate to it from this website, but from the homepage. But I found, but it is on his website. You can see from the URL. This is a file on his website. This mouth breathing, this sort of quasi, it's like it's presented like it's information, but really it's propaganda. And I'm gonna really unpack sort of how slippery this thing is here with. So okay, the importance of facial appearances in contemporary society is undeniable. Okay, so that kind of connects with this thing here about the subject of facial beauty and its intimate relationship to total health and wellness. All right. So and then he's got 6 references. So we go down to his references for the claim that facial beauty is important for success. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, right. Okay. And these are all actually about the relationship between facial beauty and, real sort of economic effects. Like this one's about, job prospects, global social skill ratings, ultimatum game decisions. Okay. Anyway, so you get the idea. He's actually got sources for this. So, okay, let's assume that it's all pretty much valid. All right. Fair enough. However, many healthcare professionals, blah 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 blah. Okay, so this is basically just saying a lot of doctors think that your facial appearance is a result only of your phenotype and only minimally, like not significantly, a result of environmental factors. Okay, seems reasonable. And then he says more and more studies are showing that environmental factors may play a significant role in facial and dental development and alter the phenotype. So he's saying the accepted wisdom in healthcare was that your facial features are pretty much set from your genotype, and now there's more studies showing that environmental factors can affect that. And okay, so he's got 6 citations for the demonstrable importance of facial beauty, and I mean it intuitively makes sense too. No one's going to deny that it helps to be a beautiful person, but then he says more and more studies are showing that environmental factors may play a significant role in facial and dental development and may alter the phenotype. No sources, so this is as good as anecdotal. Basically, this is not a substantiated claim. And also, look at this slippery phrasing. You fucking snake, Jefferson. May play a significant role in facial and dental development. May alter the phenotype. Great. So he's totally off the hook as far as backing this up in any meaningful way. In the most definitive, okay, so then basically all of this here, this is the rest of this is talking about a study with rhesus monkeys where they, okay, right. So let me just quickly go over what his claim is. His claim is that basically mouth breathing can cause, and it's really slippery the way he lays this out. So his actual claim is that mouth breathing can cause undesirable changes in facial structure and a host of other problems that he kind of vaguely provides evidence for, this being the case, that it causes all this other stuff. So this is his evidence for the facial structure thing. Basically, there was a study that he references specifically where they took some rhesus monkeys, plugged their noses, and then measured the distance from the nasion, which is right here, to the hard palate, and the nasion to the chin. I think that's what it was. Yeah. And saw if there was a change when they plugged their noses and forced them to breathe through their mouths. And as it turned out, there was. There were 3 different possible things that could happen. Either the rhesus monkeys started breathing, basically, either the rhesus monkeys gave themselves an underbite, an overbite, or there's some other kind of, some third kind of misalignment that could happen from this. And also the distance between nasion and hard palate and nasion and chin increased. Both increased. So this stretched out and this stretched out as a whole. So, all right. So that's substantiated then. As much as assuming that we're taking this study seriously, which we'll just give them the benefit of the doubt with that. So, okay. So, mouth breathing. It has been shown to cause changes in facial structure. Okay. All right. We accept this. But then you look at okay, more and more stuff about la-di-da-di-da, problems with changes in face structure. Okay, so here's the issue though. He's showing that, all right, the mouth breathing will lengthen your face, but there's no real evidence here. There's no specific evidence here that that's a problem. I mean, and then okay, so he's giving a case study here, case information. Patient in Figure 1 illustrates how untreated mouth breathing in children can cause abnormal myofunction. Left untreated, this condition can adversely affect normal facial growth and dental development. Okay, this is the thing. Adversely according to who? Adversely according to you, an orthodontist who wants to charge people thousands and thousands of dollars to change their facial structure because it's so deeply important that their face be, a particular way that you've sort of ascribed as the right way for their face to look. Yeah, okay. So this is cute. In addition to various types of abnormal facial growth and dental malocclusions, malocclusion sounds like obviously like a disease or something, right? Well, if you look up what malocclusion means, that just means not a perfect bite. Not a perfect bite with your jaw. That may or may not cause problems. But he's got this sort of dogmatic orthodontist perspective where he thinks everything needs to be this perfect sort of the jaw exactly the way that he imagines it should, or that they're all kind of they make money by convincing you that your face is wrong, so then you pay them to change it, not fix it necessarily. But anyway, okay. So then he talks about nitric oxide. So he's basically, the summary of this is nasal breathing increases the production of nitric oxide, which okay, and then he's being slippery again. So he says, okay, this is just straight up data. He's got 3 sources for nasal respiration is important for the production of nitric oxide. All right, fair enough. Nitric oxide inhaled via nasal respiration has been shown to increase oxygen exchange efficiency and increase blood oxygen efficiency by 18%, while improving the lungs' ability to absorb oxygen. Okay, all right. That's just data. So, okay, 2 sources. Nitric oxide also is a strong vasodilator and brain transmitter that increases oxygen transport through the body and is vital to all body organs. Well, there's a source, but there's no real data about to what degree this is true. Nitric oxide is crucial to overall health and the efficiency of smooth muscles such as blood vessels in the heart. Okay, a ton of sources there. Many other health benefits have been attributed to nitric oxide. Okay, all right. So he's got a bunch of things backing up. We can safely say nitric oxide is important for humans to breathe in. It's important. Nasal respiration provides the most efficient mechanism for introducing oxygen into the lungs and the body for overall health. Mouth breathers have lower oxygen concentration in their blood than those who have optimal nasal respiration. Low oxygen concentration in the blood has been associated with high blood pressure and cardiac failures. Okay, so now we've got kind of a slippery sort of issue. He's got all this just basically straight up data here in this paragraph. And then in this paragraph, he says a bunch of things and doesn't really explain how we know any of this stuff. Then he says something very specific after that. Low oxygen concentration in the blood has been associated with high blood pressure and cardiac failures. And then he's got 4 sources for that, right? Okay. You might be thinking, oh, well, maybe the 4 sources apply to all the things in this paragraph. Well, no. If you look at them, actually they don't. 29 to 32. That's, sleep disorder breathing, blood pressure levels, yeah. So 29 is sleep disorder breathing and blood pressure levels. 30 is sleeping, nocturnal respiration. And then congestive heart failure. Okay, yeah, there you go. And then gas diffusion, alveolar capillary unit. Yeah, right. Okay, so this is basically all about breathing, nocturnal respiration. And none of that really specifically substantiates these sort of sweeping claims he's making, like nasal respiration provides the most efficient mechanism for introducing oxygen into the lungs and body for overall health. Okay, maybe it's more efficient than mouth breathing. You could probably find something to substantiate that claim, but he's phrasing it in this way where it's like, oh, it's important that you breathe through your nose. Well, how important? Well, he doesn't go into that because it's an emotional argument. It's not a real argument. Mouth breathers have a lower oxygen concentration in their blood than those who have optimal nasal respiration. No citation for that one. All right, Jefferson. You think you can just slide that one on by there? You dirty orthodontist. The negative impact of sleeping disorders on growth and development has been substantiated in many studies. Many children with sleep disorders are often well below their peers in terms of height and weight. All right. And then specific citations. All right. Fine. That's pretty much just straight data, so we'll take that. I mean, what you mean by well below is a little bit fishy. You're not really giving, at what point does it matter? There's variation in the size of people. But he doesn't go into that, obviously, because this is the thing. If he was just trying to present the data as it is, I don't think he would be phrasing things this way. I think the way that he's phrasing things here pretty clearly shows that he's got an agenda. He stands to gain or lose something from what people believe about mouth breathing. So, okay. Other major issues beyond abnormal facial and dental development have also been associated with mouth breathing. So, major issues. That's not really information. That's trying to get moms concerned. That's not actual information. Jefferson, you do not like this guy. Studies have shown that upper airway blah 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, no shit. Upper airway obstruction / mouth breathing can cause sleep disorders and sleep apnea. I mean, no kidding that upper airway obstruction causes sleep disorders and sleep apnea. That's not a shock. Not a shock to anyone, I don't think. And then / mouth breathing. I mean, to what? So let's look at this 39 through 44 here. God, I hate Jefferson. Yeah, okay, this one's nasal obstruction. That one's about mouth breathing. That one's about mouth breathing. And that one's about rhesus monkeys. Okay, this is about growth. Oh, I see. Okay, growth hormones. Airway obstruction again. Yeah, okay. So, 2 of these are actually about mouth breathing. The rest of them are indirectly, they're about other things related to sleep disorders in particular. And he's conflating that all with mouth breathing. Sleep disorders in rhesus monkeys cause them to produce lower amounts of growth hormones, and they're not developing properly. And he's like, and it's mouth breathing. No, there's other causes for sleep disorders. But he wants you to think, oh, no, just let magical orthodontists fix my jaw and then all my problems will go away. That's what he wants you to think, so he can take your money. Studies have shown, that's cute, isn't that? Studies have shown that children with sleep disorders have problems paying attention in school, are often tired, may exhibit blah, 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 misdiagnosed with ADHD. All right. I mean, again, he's conflating all sleep disorders with mouth breathing, basically. So that's nice. That's nice, Jefferson. You fucking lying. He's so seedy. God, he's so gross. Ugh. It's so shady. Like this. Oh man, it's not good, man. It doesn't look good. Yes, we can beautify faces. You're creeping me out, Jefferson. You are creeping me out. Okay. And then he adds this other, you're really reaching here, Jefferson. He's like, okay, sleep disorders can cause misdiagnosis of ADHD, which can be treated with Ritalin, which can have complications. How does this have to do with mouth breathing? This really does not have to do with mouth breathing. You're really talking about something unrelated and conflating all these other bad things with mouth breathing because you want to take people's money. I don't like you. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, so he's dumping all this scary fear-mongering information on you, conflating it with mouth breathing, and then saying, in the author's opinion, that being him, the ideal treatment for these children involves treating the blocked airway, allowing the child to breathe through the nose rather than the mouth. Mouth breathing irritates the Okay, so he kind of slips in this little professional opinion where, but a professional whose career depends on you believing something that may or may not be true or sufficiently substantiated by actual evidence. I mean, you can tell this is anything but impartial. So he's information, not all of which is strictly relevant to what he's talking about. And then he says, in the author's opinion, the way to treat this is pretty much to pay me a lot of money so I can change your facial structure. Let me kind of fiddle around in your kid's mouth with my greasy Jefferson hands. And then more information. Mouth breathing irritates the mucosa, and these children often, tonsillitis, blah, 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 blah. 63, 64. Okay, so let's see. Is he really? Yeah, okay, wait. Sleep in children with ADHD. That doesn't seem directly relevant to mouth breathing in particular. Obstructive sleep apnea syndrome due to, adenotonsillar hypertrophy in infants. Okay, but that can occur for lots of other reasons other than mouth breathing. So it's like, yes, if you're mouth breathing, he's saying, he's claiming if you're mouth breathing, you'll have these issues, and these issues are associated with these other issues, but you could have those issues for lots of other reasons. So then it's this sort of mind trick where he's trying to get you to associate all these problems with mouth breathing and then think if you solve the mouth breathing, you'll solve those problems. I mean, not necessarily. Okay, then what does this say? Nasal resistances are useful in identifying children with severe obstructive. Okay, this is also not strictly relating these two pieces of information that mucosa irritation and mouth breathing are directly linked. And then, again, improved behavior and sleep after tonsillectomy in children with sleep-disordered breathing. I mean, that's... Okay, actually, no. This is a perfect example. This is part of the back scratching, which I haven't quite gotten into yet, but there's some real slippery... Okay, let's get back to the... let's get back up here. Surgical removal of swollen tonsils and adenoids is highly recommended when they negatively affect sleep. All right. I don't know how that really particularly has to do with mouth breathing. With surgical removal of swollen blah, 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 blah. Okay. So again, this really doesn't necessarily have to do with mouth breathing. There's lots of other reasons you could have tonsillitis. Or swollen tonsils and adenoids. I mean... Okay. Then he gives you these what to look for. What to look for sleep disorders in your children. Be afraid. Give me all your money. Hate you, Jefferson. Long, narrow faces in older children. Okay. Yeah, this is the thing he's talking about again. That's not a very complimentary picture. This is I would call that misrepresentation, if you ask me. Okay. The dentist's role in diagnosis and treatment of mouth breathing. Okay, right. So basically the rest of this article is him saying you should take your child if your child was having any sort of problems. So, like, in the set of problems he thinks is related to this. Okay, hold on a second. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Yeah. Any of these problems. Okay, so long, narrow faces, pinched nostrils, open mouth, shortened upper lip, vacant and dull expression, Vacant and dull expression? Excuse me? Is that a diagnosis? Allergic shiner under the eyes. Okay. Narrow palate, high palatal vault, dental crowding. Again, sometimes that's a problem, sometimes it's not. Swollen tonsils. All right, I mean, this doesn't always... So far, all this stuff is like... Wait, this is... It really seems like he's kind of constructing this disease here. Small and slight stature for children. Heavy and obese for adults. That can... There's so many reasons that could be happening. Patients who snore partially... There's lots of reasons for that too. Patients who sleep with their mouth open. Patients who are tired or irritable during the day. Yeah, the only reason for that, treat the mouth breathing. Spend thousands of dollars getting your orthodontist to change your jaw so that you won't be irritable, you won't have any behavior problems, you'll be able to concentrate and you'll do well in school, you won't be winded from sports activities. It's pretty much all about mouth breathing, obviously. Just ask Jefferson, the mouth breathing doctor. God, I hate you. Okay. He basically talked, again, the author believes. That's real cute, Jefferson. You fucking... Oh, God, I hate you so much. The diagnosis and treatment of mouth breathing, which is self-evidently a problem. It's intrinsically a problem. And all of its associated medical, social, and behavioral problems. Oh, God, yeah. The scourge of our civilization, mouth breathing. Oh, you're just disgusting, Jefferson. Yosh. What kind of name is Yosh? Yosh is best managed by using... Okay, right, this is the back scratching I was telling you about. Is best managed by using a multidisciplinary approach involving pediatricians, physicians, dentists, and ENT specialists. Oh, that's great, yeah. Just get them all. He'll give me a little money, and then I'll say, oh, you better visit my friend Yosh Jefferson over here, who's going to help kind of fix this mouth breathing problem you have, and then give him some money, and then he'll go, oh, hey, I've got this friend Johnny Johnson over here who's gonna Dr. Johnson MD who's gonna sort of do some other procedures on your child to fix the mouth breathing. Just pass them around, and on every pass someone gets a little money, and scratch, and then he gets a scratch. That's just disgusting. And he conflates all of these super general problems. It's basically like, oh, do you suffer from chronic pain or mood swings? Why don't you rub these crystals on your nipples and then see if that helps? But they're real expensive crystals because they work 100% of the time. Look at these testimonials I've got about my highly well substantiated crystal treatment here for your mouth breathing. That's obviously self-evidently a problem that you need to pay lots of money to have corrected. Okay, blah 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 blah. More stuff that's not really obviously relevant to the argument that he's making. Second line of... Okay, right. Yeah, he's basically outlining who you should give all your money to have this non-problem corrected. And then case report. What he means by case report is long anecdote where a 5-year-old is having all of the problems. He then gets passed around between all the doctors, and they fix his mouth breathing. And then once his mouth breathing is fixed, all the problems are fixed. It's like magic. It's almost too good to be true. Listen to this. Listen to all his problems. Oh, yeah, okay, I love that. Just real briefly here. I love this phrasing. A 5-year-old boy was seen by a pediatric dentist who understood the problems associated with mouth breathing. Understood because it's self-evidently, obviously, no need to... He understood it. He was in the know about these problems. He understood. Just upsetting. Okay, then he's like, oh yeah, your child. There's a bunch of stuff wrong with your child's mouth. Yeah, he's got all these issues. Diagnostic screening. Okay, right. Yeah, this is nice. A diagnostic screening revealed that the patient was too young to have developed a long, narrow face. Oh yeah, it just hasn't. It will happen. I'm telling you, it will happen if you allow this mouth breathing to continue. But if you pay us a lot of money and we can kind of sort of correct this here, then he won't get it's not too late. We can correct it, Mrs. Johnson. We can fix your child. But if not, he's never gonna be able to get a job because his face will be long. He'll be a dirty mouth breather. This is such a weird, like, he's really, I mean, okay, yeah, we'll get, okay. So here's all the problems that the kid was having. He slept with his mouth open, because that's a problem. That's not just how a human might sleep. Okay, he tired easily during the day and was easily winded. He had severe behavior problems in school, throwing temper tantrums to the point, like, there's severe behavioral problems. He was concentrating, was failing most of his, had trouble concentrating, was failing most of his subjects. Okay, and then they did a bunch of stuff to his mouth, which I'm sure costed a fortune, which he's not really mentioning. Blah, 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 blah. And then basically, then okay, highly anecdotal report on what the changes were after they did all these treatments. After only 1 year of expansion therapy, the patient's mother claimed to observe significant, claimed as though you're suspicious of her claims. You're not the one using it to further your orthodontist agenda, Jefferson. Claimed to observe significant improvements in many areas, noting the patient sleeps better, has a better disposition, is more, all this really general, non-quantifiable stuff. Okay, great. And then the summary is basically, hey, be afraid, pay me money. So, all right. And I'm just kind of blown away by how deep this goes. Like, there's no place I could find online that has any sort of skepticism about this mouth breathing thing, because everyone's just like, oh, well, why would a dentist or orthodontist lie to me? They're the expert. They know what they're talking about. Why would they? What motivation would they have? Obviously, the motivation would be that you have to pay them a lot of money to correct problems that may or may not actually be problems. Yeah, great. So I mean, I could go through all these, technology networks. Oh, mouth breathing is like really a big old problem. It's a big old scary problem. Oh right, yeah, this is real. Look at this one. This is just ridiculous. You may experience fear differently. It's just I mean, you can go ahead and read it if you want. Go and find it and read it if you want, but it's just a bunch of unsubstantiated bullshit. I mean, the depth of this, the breadth of this propaganda is unbelievable. And in like what appear to be scientific like journals, medical journals, everywhere, it's just everywhere. I don't know if Yosh Jefferson is behind all of it, but I will say that this thing here is cited as though it's like a valid, like it's cited alongside actual journals like NIH or NCBI stuff. Like over here, I've got two of them. Right, this is one of the things that he studies. Increased oxygen load in the prefrontal cortex for mouth breathing. Blah 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 blah. And in this medical journal article, this study, they say they start the abstract with individuals who habitually breathe through the mouth are more likely than nasal breathers to have sleep disorders and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. How do you know? Did you read Yosh Jefferson's thing here? That's my guess. I gotta say, as unfortunate as that is, that's my guess. Is this the same thing twice? Yeah, it is. There's no explanation for where they got that information from. So then they're going into this study. I mean, who knows if this is even valid? They're going into this study thinking, oh, we just gotta find what the reason is that this true thing is true. It's not true. I don't think it's true. I don't think this is true. I think there's I'm also, another thing I'm curious about that I couldn't find any information on, but I'm curious whether the use of the phrase mouth breather, like as an insult, predates any of this research. Because if it does, that makes me real skeptical of this sort of implicit idea that so many people seem to have, so many medical professionals or people who write articles, everything, all of this. I'd be real skeptical that's just a conclusion they drew from the data. It seems like there's this desire to believe that there's this subspecies of human called mouth breathers who need to be corrected. I just don't buy any of this. So my thesis basically is, fuck you, Yosh Jefferson, you dirty lying snake. How can you sleep at night? That's pretty much the point trying to make here. No, obviously not. That's a joke. The point I'm trying to make is don't buy into this propaganda that mouth breathing is some kind of disease. It's just a behavioral difference in people. Don't buy into this propaganda here. This is just kind of real upsetting to me in general. Hey Yosh, I wrote a song for you, Yosh. Yosh Jefferson, you pitiful propagandist, you cheap. Good Lord. Here we go, Yosh. You ready? Go to hell, Yosh Jefferson, you seedy lying snake! Yosh Jefferson, you're the worst thing to ever happen to society, you propagandist, orthodontist. You're the worst, Yosh Jefferson. Yosh Jefferson, I despise you, I hate you more than anything. You make me sick, you seedy snake! How do you sleep at night? Okay, hope you liked it, Yosh.